Hello MBA aspirants, in this video we will discuss 5 tips for handling a fish market situation in a group discussion. Tip number 1, do the unexpected. The unexpected results in a sudden shock. The unexpected puts everybody in a sudden shock. So the minute you do that, you are able to enter the discussion yet again. You're able to take care of the fish market situation, because the shock can act as a momentary pacifier. Everybody is quiet for a while, and this gives you an edge. But what is the unexpected? Let's try to understand this. The unexpected can be a quick example, a short story, or a befitting data. So the unexpected has to be a quick input in terms of an example, an illustration, something which supports the statement which you made a while back. A short story. Stories have a grip on the audience, always. They always sell. But remember, it's a fish market situation. People are on a high. So you need to ensure that the story is relevant, short, crisp, and quick. And a befitting data. Suddenly when you wield a piece of data, people tend to be taken aback. People will receive it, but your data has to be correct and authentic. And it becomes even better so if you're able to quote the source. Tip number 2, form allies, friends, partners, collaborations. You have to build as many positive relationships as possible. Fish market is the result of contradictory views and opinions. People normally get into a fish market situation when they disagree, when they have divergent views on a particular event, incident, or a piece of information. So you have to understand that there are 2 poles in the discussion. So you have to identify the persons you wish to support. Now you can't be on both the sides. You have to take one stand. So you have to ensure that you collaborate with someone you can really connect with, and the 2 of you will give you the many to one kind of an advantage over the other someone, and you can take the discussion forward. Collaborate effectively. Effectively means that it should have an outcome. So too many collaborations can also confuse you. So you have to pick your people really well. Fish market situations typically they come along somewhere in the middle of the discussion. So by that time you would have walked a stretch, and you would know who are the people you want to collaborate with. If the situation comes along in the first few seconds of the topic being given, then of course you'll have to be more vigilant in terms of identifying the probables you have to connect with. So body language plays a good role in this. Use voice, eye contact techniques. Modulate upwards to enter the discussion, and then downwards to plant your point. See, modulation is the flavor of speech. Modulation is the way you have to customize your pitch so as to make your content more interesting, so as to make it more relevant, and sell it better. So when you modulate upwards, you pitch up your voice, and this enables you to enter the discussion. So fish market situations are typical in terms of high decibel levels. So the volume is going to be on the higher side. So you really need to enter the discussion with an upward modulation, which may add to the decibel levels of the discussion for a while. But once you're there, then you modulate downwards, and that sudden variation in pitch helps you to create an entry in the discussion. Look at the person whom you wish to counter. Start from there, and then take your eyes off that person in a quick swing of neck to establish an eye contact elsewhere. Now this strategy works if you are able to understand group dynamics well. You have to counter someone, and that someone is high in terms of speaking inertia. So you have to take the stage away from him. So get into a discussion with him, but at the same time, you'll have to give him that respect also, acknowledge what he's saying, and then take it away from him. It's like saying something like this: I agree with you, sir, but. Now, but does the trick. But is where you take it away from that someone. And then suddenly you look at another point in the group, and you are discounting this person's presence. So this helps you to take the point away from someone and establish a connect elsewhere. And in a fish market situation, this becomes even tougher because people are high on the inertia part. People are high in terms of aggression. People are high in terms of decibel levels. So just about everything is against you. So these techniques may give you some kind of an entry point. Assign a sequence. This is the last resort. Remember that assigning a sequence to the discussion is like dampening the spirit of discussion. But if nothing works, if everybody is into it and speaking randomly and there is no order and it becomes chaotic, somebody has to assign an order to it. Somebody has to assign a sequence. Intervene with a persuasive tone and propose a sequential order of speaking. Now, persuasive is indicative of the fact that you have an ability to convince others, and your practice sessions would have given you this kind of feedback. This ability is there or it's not there. So whatever feedback you have from the practice sessions, please factor them in. If you are the person who has a persuasive tone, you can convince others. So you should be the one taking this responsibility. Get into it with that tone and propose a certain order starting from one particular point. And when I say one particular point, start with someone who has been high on the speaking inertia, because that someone will not let it go right away. So if you propose a sequence being assigned to the discussion and you start from somewhere else, he might counter you. So I think it is advised that you therefore propose this kind of a sequence starting with that someone only. And the minute you give the stage to him or her, that someone will not be able to let it go. So it goes in your favor. Ensure that nobody overshoots the tentative time window. Say there are 15 participants and you have approximately 15 minutes for the discussion, and you propose a sequence being assigned to it. So on an average, nobody should speak for more than a minute. But it doesn't go like that. Some people will speak for a longer time, some people will speak for a shorter time. But whatever is the case, since you are the moderator now, you are not the assigned moderator, but it's a consequence of the discussion of what you proposed. People bought that, so it gave you the status of a moderator. So it's your responsibility to ensure that you moderate the time window for different people in the discussion. Avoid the following: speaking for the sake of speaking. This is an absolutely chaotic situation. So here, if you just get into it because you also want to add to the decibel levels, it misfires, it goes against you. So it is suggested that if you are speaking only for the sake of speaking, then you should not enter this kind of a chaos. Being irrationally rigid. Now, irrationally rigid means that you are not a good listener. It means that you are highly opinionated, you are extremely judgmental, and you are not letting others participate and come forward with their viewpoints. So being this kind of a person, it adds to the fish market situation, and the group can be in the danger of being disqualified. And this has happened previously. Groups were disqualified because people were irrationally rigid, they were aggressive, and they were not able to do justice to the topic given for discussion. Getting into an argument with loud personalities. Now, loud is fairly obvious, of a person who does not listen to others, who is being discordantly aggressive and noisy, and such people need to be identified, and you need to stay away from such people. We also understand that these people might run the group into a situation where it becomes difficult to take the discussion forward. So these are like danger points. You need to stay away from them. We hope that these tips will help you to manage the fish market situation, if at all, on that day. Thank you.